Lots of pink. That's because it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Even the fountains around town are flowing with pink water. According to the American Cancer Society, about 1 in 8 women in the U.S. is diagnosed with breast cancer in their lifetime. While there are about 2.5 million breast cancer survivors living in the U.S. today, breast cancer is still one of the leading killers of women. Our next guest wants to help survivors feel better after undergoing breast cancer treatments. Lisa Pello is the owner of Touchstone Pilates and a certified Pilates instructor who says studying Pilates can help women regain energy, mobility, self-confidence. Good morning, Lisa.
Thank you for having us. Good morning.
So how long have you been teaching Pilates for?
I've been teaching Pilates since 2006, but I've been doing Pilates since 2000.
Wow. Okay, so I think of it as such a great workout, but I never thought of it for women with breast cancer. Tell me how it can help them.
Well, the great thing about Pilates is the traditional Pilates exercises can be modified based on the person's condition or their fitness level. So for breast cancer, what we're trying to do there's emotional issues. You know, a woman may feel self-conscious. She may be very protective of that area. She may be afraid to move. So what we're trying to do is gently stretch and strengthen the arm, chest, and shoulder area, and basically try to bring a woman back to life.
And you've got one of your new instructors here, Heather Bartley, who is over on the other side of our studio demonstrating some of the techniques. Tell me, I'm seeing her do some arm type of motions. How does that help a woman who might be having, you know, swelling or scarring, soreness, especially in the upper, breast area?
Well, one of the biggest issues is a lack of mobility in the arm, chest, and shoulders. So what Heather's doing here is something called breathing, and we'll progress her through the movement, but she's lifting the arms up, and she'll gently over time take them back a little further so she can get some flexibility in that area and get the range of motion back in her arm.
Nice. And is this usually a one-on-one session?
We do private, semi-private, and small group classes, but for somebody who's coming in from breast cancer treatment, we probably want to do one-on-one with them.
Right, and so it sounds like it's really adaptive, that you can, whatever that person's issue may be.
Whatever their needs are, we can adapt the exercises to fit their needs.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And I know Pilates, they focus a lot on the core muscles too, right? The strength. Tell me about how that can help these women too.
Absolutely. So what we also are trying to do is strengthen those core muscles, and that's all incorporated in the movements that Heather's doing, but we try to bring the movement from the abdominal muscles or the core of the body. That really is where everything comes from.
So for example, the way I see there's a space between her back and the floor there, is she having to use her stomach muscles to do that?
To keep the control through the body, and actually what that's doing also is bringing balance back to the body.
Ah, wow.
Yes.
So in your studio, I know right here you had to modify because you had to bring the equipment, but I think of Pilates, there's kind of a traditional machine, is that right?
Yes, we have a fully equipped studio with all the apparatus. The main piece of equipment that people are familiar with is the reformer.
Okay.
And it's a resistance-based piece of apparatus that uses your own body weight against tension of springs. So it's very easy on the joints too.
Great, because you can do it as hard or as light as you want. Is that why?
Yeah, I've trained people with no fitness level, have never done exercise, all the way up to professional athletes. So it's very adaptive.
Even if a woman's had a breast cancer surgery, is not an exerciser in the past, this could really help.
Exactly, and we want her to feel comfortable when she comes into the studio, so it's a very private environment, and it's warm and welcoming.
What about you mentioned self-confidence and even the spiritual element of Pilates? Tell me about that.
Well, Pilates is an integration of the mind, body, and spirit, and two of the principles of Pilates are concentration and control, and also breathing. And what this does is it focuses the mind on the body and brings that all together.
And also, something about the fluids in the lymph system, lymph nodes. Tell me about that.
Well, there can be swelling after breast cancer surgery. It's called lymphedema, and it's an accumulation of those lymphatic fluids in the body. And by moving the body, strengthening and stretching the body, it can drain those fluids and get that swelling out of there.
And this isn't just something that sounds good. This has actually been proven in studies, right?
Yes, studies show that Pilates can really help a woman get her range of motion and mobility back.
Wonderful. Well, Lisa, thank you so much. Heather, thanks for demonstrating. And Touchstone Pilates is located in Mount Lebanon. The address is 250 Mount Lebanon Boulevard. They're hosting an open house this Thursday from 5 to 8, so you can see the studio for yourself. You can go online for information to RSVP to that, and for more information on the studio. There will also be an art raffle to benefit McGee Women's Institute and Research Foundation. And during the month of October, Touchstone will also donate to McGee for every package of Pilates sessions purchased. Up next, the greatest show on earth coming to town. We'll tell you how to win VIP seats next.